no catches, no yards, no TDs. He had at least one catch in 87 career games. The big talk and the big controversy was he was not in the last offensive series when the Jets scored. So, did he take himself out? What happened in the huddle? Let's go back out to Miami. Santonio Holmes now answering those questions.
Man, it was tough. It was a tough loss for us today. We didn't pull through. We needed this one to get opportunity to make it to the playoffs, and today it didn't happen for us.
What happened to you personally at the end of the game? Did you pull yourself off the field?
Actually, I didn't. Patrick came in and tapped me on the shoulder and told me to come out, so I came out to the sideline.
What do you think of that decision, Santonio? When you guys, the game was still there for you, and you're on the final drive, and you're out on the field.
Have no answers for it. It was the coach's call, and it happened.
Right before that, you got into a heated exchange in the huddle with one of your teammates. Could you explain what that was about?
No, I can't explain what that was about.
What was bothering you? I mean, what was bothering you?
It was emotion running high on the field between two guys on the same team.
Santonio, your first time in 95 games you've been shut out. Is it more Vontae Davis? Is it you having problems, or is the quarterback having problems?
It's week 17, man. We lost the game today. I think that's all that matters right now. Won't make it to the playoffs this season.
So after the game, during the huddle, someone came up to you and had a discussion with you that got into a heated exchange. That was just suggesting that someone got into it with you?
No, I'm actually not suggesting anything. What happened on the field is between us players, and not for anybody else to know about.
Antonio, when you're a team captain, obviously, I mean, to be a part of that, is that embarrassing for you? I mean, should this kind of thing happen as a captain?
It happened. First time being the captain, first time it's ever happened. Can't say.
Did someone tell Pat Turner to come in and take you out of the game?
I was on the field at the time, so I had no clue who told Patrick to come in the game.
Do you think it could have been performance related? Did you do anything you think warranted to be pulled out?
I honestly don't think I did. If it was my lack of jogging back to the huddle, when there's penalties and referees are taking their time looking at plays, I shouldn't have to rush myself, But if that was the case, then that was the case.
Is that mentioned to you?
No.
Santonio, how frustrating was it not to have a reception today?
It's week 17. Shouldn't have happened.
Was it just a case of exceptional coverage by Davis? Or do you think there were times where you were open?
It's week 17. Week 17. There's been numerous games before that I didn't have maybe 1 or 2 catches. This was just one of them that I didn't have any catches.
Santonio, it's week 17, but what does that mean when you keep saying it's week 17? You didn't have a reception, and you were only the target 2 or 3 times today.
We had an opportunity to make the playoffs, and Santonio Holmes didn't make any plays for his team today.
What is your confidence level in shot memory?
Right now, let's hope for the best.
What would that mean?
Whatever.
Would you like him to? There's a lot of speculation about his future. Would you like him to come back, or do you think it's time for a fresh point of view?
It wouldn't be my decision to make that choice whether he returns or not.
Why didn't the offense this year make as many plays as you guys thought you would come into the season?
If I could answer that question, I would, man. I'm sorry to be so blunt and short with you guys, but that's just the way it is right now. There's no explanations.
Mark, in the last 3 games in particular, really struggled and turned the ball over a lot. Has that shaken at all your belief in him longer term?
It definitely hurt our chances on where we wanted to be as a unit. Offensively, we're doing pretty good throughout the whole season, and thus far the past couple games, kind of tell the tale for where we ended up after 17 weeks.
When you take it out, do you fight to go back in? Do you say, hey, why am I coming out? Can I go back in? Do you fight it all to go back in the game?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
what was your reaction?
What did you do? Did you say, why aren't?
I walked to the sideline. They took me out of the game. I walked to the sideline.
Who's they?
I just told you earlier who was they. Patrick Turner came on the field, and he tapped me on my shoulder, and he asked me to come out the game.
We'll do 2 more questions.
What you've seen from Mark this year, do you think he can be a great quarterback in this?
He can be a great quarterback. We got a lot of work this offseason to do, and I think we'll get it all together this offseason.
So, Tony, do you want to come back as a guy next year? I mean, if everything is intact.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, so that's Santonio Holmes there from Miami. There's a number of issues we need to get into here because, listen, let's start from the beginning. One of the reasons why the Jets paid him a lot of money and made him a captain was because they wanted him to be fully invested, wanted him to be all in. And they knew that he's had problems off the field in Pittsburgh, and they felt like if we make him captain, he's going to show some leadership. He's going to be the leader we want for some of these young guys. This is a captain who, in the last game of the season, obviously not playing in the last series, he says Patrick Turner taps him on the shoulder, tells him to leave, go sit on the bench. He says when they ask him about confidence in your offensive coordinator, instead of just saying, well, hey, look, that's not my decision, I guess we just going to have to hope for the best if whatever we get with this guy. And then when they ask him about the quarterback, he says, well, obviously that's why we didn't make the playoffs because of his play.
Under the bus.
That's your captain.
Yep.
There's some issues there that the Jets are going to have to rectify. And we had this earlier in the season.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, okay? The guy who takes the blame here is Mike Tannenbaum, okay? Because Mike Tannenbaum gave him that money and made him the captain and simultaneously let a lot of veterans who are good clubhouse guys leave. Damian Woody no longer on the team. Tony Richardson no longer on the team. Big Jenks no longer on the team. You guys know this. You've been in the locker room. You need someone to grab Santonio Holmes by the throat and say, hey, Santonio, calm down.
Here's the perfect reason why you don't appoint a captain, okay? Unless he's earned it, where he puts his stripes in and his time in with the team, and he showed that he's a guy that can lead. Here's a guy that actually comes in, you know, and gets a big contract, like I said, and gets appointed captain. I don't know who he thought he was to do that, but I'll tell you what, I think there's a few other guys on that team that I would have chose to be a captain better. Like you said, there's somebody that needs to grab somebody in there and straighten them out. I don't